Thank you for joining us again. Let's get into another conversation now. During the national speech, President Bola Tinubu expressed his aim to channel endeavors towards states and local governments in order to introduce compressed natural gas buses. This approach, he said, is designed to ease the difficulties arising from the cessation of fuel subsidies. According to him, the buses will be shared with major transportation companies in the state using the intensity of travel per capita. But basically, of course, we'll focus on the future of transportation in Nigeria and diversification from PMS to CNG. Now, being joined by a policy analyst and, of course, the immediate past chairman of Ikeja District Society of ICANN. He joins me live here now, Mr. Olusegun Okwade. Thank you for coming on the program after a long while. It's good to have you here again.
Good morning, Frank.
Good morning.
Good morning to all our viewers. Great to be back.
Yes.
I'm sure you understand the reason why it has been.
Of course, I understand.
Technology.
I mean, technology is changing the way we live and do business, and so the world is changing gradually. But let's get into conversation for today. From PMS to CNG, this, of course, has been lately, has been the major issue, critical issue that has been discussed amongst experts. Different sectors of the economy are looking at how to diversify to perhaps transition from the usage of PMS to CNG. What comes to mind when, of course, this conversation, arise?
Okay, maybe I'm sure some people will be wondering why this conversation is coming to me. Let me state that I'm not just a member of ICANN. I'm also a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Transport Administration, CIOTA. So
interesting. I didn't factor that in your introduction. Pardon me for that. Pardon me for that.
But back to the major discourse. Yes. I'm sure you know monopolization of things has not actually been of great benefit. We talk most of the time, how can we diversify? How can we do things in a different way so that we can have a different result? And over years, we've been used to having the fossil fuel as a means of transportation. But it came to bear, we have the CNG, which is the compressed natural gas, and we've had EV now, the electronic vehicles.
That's right.
Which
but not really popular yet.
Yeah,
compared to CNG conversation.
Yeah, but we've had the few ones that Lagos State and Orlando has tried to put on the road. I think I saw 2 yesterday running in Lagos. But going to CNG, I'm sure you know Nigeria is one of the largest country when it comes to gas flaring. And areas where some of us has been speaking to is we can't continue to be wasting the natural resources that we'll get without having value to some of those things. And bringing to bear that now that we have vehicles that can make use of the natural gas that we make use of. So we can concentrate in the area of seeing how some of those gas that are being flared have been actually put to use for us to make use of them in areas like easing the problem of transportation. And the other thing this will bring to bear is you now have alternative.
That's right.
You either have the option of making use of PMX or you use the DPK, which is the diesel, or you look at the CNG. I'm sure you know there are several organizations who prefers to use the diesel vehicle. Now so many people are also investing in that. Rather than going on PMX, because you discover that DPK does not burn as fast as the PMX, and also the CNG, the consumption rate cannot be compared to that of the PMX. So one of the advantages we're looking at is diversifying and giving alternative means. So if you have a CNG bus, and I have a petrol bus, and another someone has a DPK, which is diesel bus, we can charge different rate, and it will be left in the hands of the commuters which way to go. So, looking in that perspective is a welcome development that we are diversifying our means of transportation from the traditional way of PMX to other areas that we can have as alternative, and that on its own will give, more investment opportunity for people that intend to go into that other aspect of it.
I mean, we're looking at cost now, cutting down cost, and which one is best, for in order to minimize or mitigate a lot of costs, especially on operation businesses and all of that. But if you look, just before we get into taking advantage of which one is better and all of that, can we look at implications of this? Yeah, there are benefits to it, but in terms of, when it comes to implications, how this will affect or shift the, operations, behavioral patterns, and the implication on the energy consumption and all of that. So I'm wondering how all of this is going to play out, because if you look at it again, we have to consider some other areas like job creation, investment opportunity, and the potential cost of saving for consumers. We do know all of that, but the implication on consumption, it will drastically drop, especially from PMS, and attention will start shifting. So what are the economic implications of all of this, all of these options?
Yeah, well, the implication of this is that, to me, from my research, it's more of positive than negative. You see, when you have competitive products, definitely if you have been enjoying monopoly, a breaking of the other product will definitely reduce the patronage, even if it is for testing purpose. Right. The period at which people are testing the other product will definitely give reduction in the consumption of it. And with the removal of subsidy, I'm sure you've heard marketers come out to make serious noise to say the patronage has not been the usual business, in the sense that even with the increase in cost, the revenue has not matched up to when it was reduced, that people are buying more. Right. The era at which people own, because of lack of steady power supply, it's not only vehicle we use it for. We use it for generating power in our different home, in our businesses. What has suddenly happened is with the removal of subsidy, people have resorted into having a calculative hour of saying, don't own the gen between so time and so time. Gen will be on between so time, and that has reduced the consumption. Now we've had a generating set being powered by CNG. People are already making use of that, and it's opening up businesses. People are growing for training, which will equip more entrepreneurs. So you'll be reproducing people who have understanding of the CNG vehicle, because it's just like those days when we have manual driven car vis-a-vis the automatic. It was as if the best car to drive on earth was the manual. But the introduction of the automatic vehicle, gave a serious competition. People start learning. At a point in time, even the conventional vehicles we're driving, there are some that are more of electronics than the other ones. People started learning. So you open the training capacity. Those who have the knowledge will be able to replicate same to other people, open the businesses for more entrepreneurship to launch into it. If you talk about cost, I can tell you the initial cost of some of this thing might be huge, but on the long run, it's just that when we first had the telecoms, I'm sure every one of us bought our phone. When this the then Econet came up, I knew I bought my line close to like 70,000. And that was a Sergeant phone that you cannot give to your child now. But with the advent of alternative power, use of that line, things start coming up. So you discover that the position will be creating more employment. As at this morning, I was on a particular forum, and they said the employment rate has hit about 33.3%, which is highest so far. So if you are able to create more opportunity, more entrepreneur, rather than waiting for the white-collar job, can venture into those businesses, what that will do is replicating more people. Because when you start and the business is growing beyond what you are, you have to invite more people to come learn, to come see other aspects that you can actually delegate people to do for you.